Nabarangpur district of Odisha. With an area of 5,291 square kilometers, about 90% of the people of this district live in rural areas. 59% of them belong to tribal communities. They are very weak in socio-economic field. They mainly depended on the forest for their livelihood. But over time, deforestation and government restrictions broke their economic backbone. So agriculture was the only means of livelihood. The farmers of this district mainly depend on the river Indravati for irrigation. In non-irrigated farmlands, farmers depend on rainwater to produce their crops. But since most of the farmlands are uneven, the rainwater flow down quickly. Again, climate change impacts the irregularity of rainfall on agricultural production. That is why irrigation was highly essential for the agricultural lands for cultivation. The solution to irrigation was to leveling the farmlands, to convert rainwater as groundwater and make better use of perennial water resources to facilitate irrigation. Agragamee, Odisha's leading voluntary organization, has been working in various tribal areas for the last 3 decades to integrate these tribes into the mainstream of society. In Nabarangpur district, Agragamee has launched its new campaign, Project Parivartan, in partnership with HDFC.
This initiative of HDFC Bank CSR in Nabarangpur, we started in the year 2021. We had a thought that we should be working with some tribal inhabitants in this part of, and the core strength area of the organization Agragamee on especially agriculture based livelihood option. So major thought process in the entire initiative is to come up with a women driven FPO, and as a HDFC Bank we are very happy to have this partnership with Agragamee.
Through Project Parivartan, family farms were started. In the first phase, the volunteers of Agragamee went from house to house in the villages and surveyed the various problems and prepared a survey report of the problems faced by the people. The next step of the Agragamee was to organize the women of the village to form self-help groups. The volunteers advised the self-help groups to raise their own funds and solve their own small problems by collecting their own monthly memberships.
meeting माँ मन एकतार रही हम बोलिक अग्रगामी आसिक शिखाइले आमे भी तुमको साहाଯ୍य करवा दरी पेड़ी देवा बोलिक कहले आउ छतु चाष आमको दिया जीवो
आमर सोसाइटी है गोटे पेट्रियार्कियल सोसाइटी सेठी पे नारी माननकु इंडिपेंडेंटली किछि करिबा में दिया जायनी जा द्वारा से माने विभिन्न प्रकार वायलेंस ता फेस करि जानते निज घर डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हे गला आमे जदि से मानकु किछि गोटे लाइवलीहुड प्रोवाइड करिबा थ्रू एसएचजी से माने इंडिपेंडेंटली फाइनेंशियली से माने गोटे स्ट्रांग हे पारिबे आ निजर जीवन को आगे नहीं पारिबे.
The next program of the project was the formation of village development committees or VDCs. After the formation of VDC, its members selected economically weaker persons as beneficiaries and recommended their name to Agragamee to provide assistance to them. Apart from this, the members of VDC discussed the various problems they had and tried to solve them on priority basis with the help of Agragamee.
VDC रे हमें प्रत्येक मास को मीटिंग करूँ समस्त VDC मेंबर रही आउ जो कार्यक्रम आमर अग्रगामी थ्रू दि जाऊँगी से सब कार्यक्रम को लोक मान को दि जावा कथा से सब जिनस आम सठिक भाव में स्थिर कर दौर गाँव सबुठ गरीब लोक मान को आम बेनिफिशियरी कर बाछुँ.
एसएचजी माँ मान आम विभिन्न प्रकार छतु चाष कुकुड़ा चाष छेली चाष आम दौचु अग्रगामी तरफ एते गरीब माँ माने 2 पैसा रोजगार करकिना पेट पोषि पारिबे.
Efforts were first made to convert unused barren lands into agricultural land to improve livelihoods. That is why steps were taken to convert the barren lands into plains. To increase the water retention capacity of the soil, trenches were dug inside the farmland. Financial assistance was provided by Agragamee to the beneficiaries to plant trees like mango, lychee, lemon, papaya and many other at regular intervals to provide sustainable income. so that stakeholders can strengthen their own nutritious food security in the future.
अग्रगामी तरफ नाकि 100 गछ हम पाइछु आम गछ 40टा काजू 20टा डालिम 10टा लेमु 5टा सीताफल 5टा नडिया 4टा लिचु 10टा एमती गछ पाउछु हम आम गछ 22 फुट रे 22 फुट चढ़े लगाउछु मझिरे अलग अलग चाष करछु.
Various steps were taken to facilitate irrigation. Water pump sets were provided to the beneficiaries for irrigation from nearby water sources. To raise water from many lower places, temporary water tanks were built in the middle of the farmland. Beneficiaries took water from it and applied it to their own fields. Another irrigation effort by Agragamee was the construction of various farm ponds. Beneficiaries were provided with solar-powered water pump sets to take water from these farm ponds to the farmlands.
पानी मिसा से डोंगरे बइबाको असुविधा एतिला से आज्ञा माने से सोलार देई करी बल खरा इटी नै कि खरा चगले हे गला आज्ञा वर्षा मास हमको किछि नै दरकार नै खरा मासे हमको दरकार खरा दिने आगा हम सोलार सलाई करी आमे गछ मुरे आमे पानी ठीक उपके लागे करबो आज्ञा
एबेर तास नै पानी रेले तो तास अगर गामनी आई बंद करी देला सराल मोटर देला के तास एबे आमे गुबी बांगन लगै करी जीव अच्छे बलबारे नि बिकलाटा 5000 पर बिकलु अच्छे.
By this, the agricultural lands could be completely irrigated. As the irrigation problem was solved, the area was able to grow large quantities of rice.
आगरे आमे करथुलु हजारे हाइब्रिड धान करथुलु हेले हमरो ए अग्रगामी आज्ञा माने आसकिना हमको ये देसी धान करबा कहले और ये हमको देसी धान टा एबे मु माछ कंटा करछि आज्ञा धाड़ी रुआटा करूथुलु आज्ञा हेले भी बेसी नै एबे टिके टिके करूछु.
Various types of indigenous seeds were provided to the beneficiaries to make paddy cultivation more profitable. As a result, the beneficiaries could harvest more paddy and use it themselves and increase their income by selling the remaining paddy.
कमलाचंद बाबू कहला कि अग्रगामी आछि इटा कला जीरा दान कला मली मांच कंटा इ दानटा दियाइतला आज्ञा इतास्ता में करछु इ वर्षो.
The favorite food of these tribes was ragi. But gradually ragi cultivation had disappeared. Efforts were made by Agragamee to revive this crop. Proper irrigation significantly increased ragi production. As a result, tribal could get their favorite food.
आगे करतेलु आज्ञा ऑल संगे से बुना बुनी करतेलु एकर को 2 क्विंटल ना 3 क्विंटल पाइतेलु एबे ए अग्रगामी आज्ञा मन कहले जे रुआ करले बोलिसी बोली करी कहले से हिसाब रे येसु रुआ करलु আছে से ई वर्ष मु बेसी खुशी रे आछि 10 क्विंटल ना 12 क्विंटल पाइबी बोली करी.
With a view to providing nutritious food to the beneficiaries, Agragamee promoted vegetable cultivation. That is why indigenous seeds were provided.
आगो पनीपर चाष करनथिलु एबे करूछि अग्रगामी वाला हमको देले बिहन आमे करूछि सिखाइले चाड़ी चाड़ी कर लगाइले भल हबो पवन बाजिबो सूर्य किरण बाजिबो घास बचा हबो भल फल आइबो.
Beneficiaries started vegetable farming. As the fields were already irrigated, vegetables could be grown in both Kharif and Rabi seasons. In later times, the beneficiaries could also increase their income by cultivating vegetables commercially.
आगरे वाला एमती नॉर्मल करतुलु आज्ञा वर्षा पानी पड़ले आका टिके एमती चाष करतुलु तापरे एबे नाइ कि हमरो HDFC आउरी हमरो अग्रगामी मिसिकी हमकु माने सहायता जोगुछन्ती तापरे ट्रेनिंग मदन नैतिले हमरो गंटी गाँ की कोन गुटे सेठ जाई कि देखलु जे गच्छ माने लगाइछन्ती तापरे सेठी पनीपरिबा मदो चाष करछन्ती सेटा देखि हम मदो सेंती करले टिके डेवलप होइल करी बाउछु एबे कराइछि मुळा कराइछि तापरे बाइगण कराइछि तापरे मांडिया कराइछि तापरे ए पुला पुला टिके कराइछि.
Another initiative of Agragamee is organic fertilizers. Stakeholders were encouraged to protect the environment by producing organic fertilizers at low cost. By making good use of local resources, the farmers made Jivamrita and applied it to the farmland.
परिंगा पत्र 2 केजी लिंबा पत्र 2 केजी ये अरक पत्र 2 केजी তারপরে গাই মূত্র গোটে 5 লিটার, তারপরে গাই গোবর গোটে কেজি, তারপরে গুড় গোটে কেজি, তারপরে ওই হুঙ্কা মাটি ସବୁ ମିଶାଇ କରି ଆମେ 6-7 ଦିନ ଗଲା ପରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଚାଷରେ ଆମେ ପ୍ରୟୋଗ କଲେ ବୋଲେ ଆମକୁ ପଇସା ବି ଲାଗୁନାହିଁ, ଚାଷ ବି ଭଲ ଆସୁଛି।
Similarly, farmers were trained to make vermin compost. Vermin compost was widely used by the beneficiaries in their own crops. With the help of vermin, the fertility and the water retention capacity of the soil increased and the agricultural production increased.
आगु आम सी सरकार एकत्र करूँ सर धान करूँ सब किसी करूँ आमको टे अमल कमी जाऊला हो नाला जिते बेले आम अग्रगामी सार मैंने कहले आसिक ट्रेनिंग भी दिहला कर।
In order to bring about sustainability in livelihood, the beneficiaries were encouraged to carry out integrated farming. As a result, the beneficiaries could cultivate different crops together in one farm, dig ponds, raise fish, chickens, goats, etc. and increase their income.
खाल डेब थे आज्ञा भल अच्छी एवं करुचु अग्रगामी आसिक सब जाक साहय कर सब पनीपरा जाक सब लगाऊ दान मंडिया टे कमाऊँ मंडिया कमाऊँगी दान भी माछ छाड़ी जिया खत भी देती जिया खत भी खत पत सब दिखाई ये काम जाक सब करुचु कुकुड़ा दिखाई सार कुकुड़ा गुड़ा बनाई सब सब ठीक कर दी सार।
Animal husbandry is another way of life for tribals. That is why financial assistance has been provided to the beneficiaries for rearing goats. Similarly, by providing financial support for raising chickens, they can get nutritious food and increase their income by selling them. Another effort was made by Agragamee to provide employment to the youth. By providing support to the beneficiaries for nursery, the income of the youth category became possible.
ये जो पिला माने बेकार युवक युवती मान एटा गोटे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हिसाब से दिखाई से यहाँ आमर 1 लाख रुपीस रे गोटे सप्लाई कराला जैसे से विभिन्न प्रकार चारा प्रस्तुत कले आउ विभिन्न प्रकार भेराइटी चारा प्रस्तुत करने सहित से माने निजर बिक्री बंटा कला परे निजर किछि डेवलपमेंट करूछन्ते।
Another initiative of the Parivartan project was to encourage women to take up mushroom cultivation. That is why women were given training and financial support. As a result, the family income of the beneficiaries increased.
पशु चाष करवा जे हम गई थी टेलिंग कोटेलाई से जोरी देलाई बेन देलाई आरी से टाल बाटा देलाई काय से पूरा बांधा बोललाई आरी बेन मन साइड के चाड़ा बोललाई से टाइट करी बांधा बोललाई आरी से पानी दियास गिनी लगा पका काटा आरी पानी दियास बोललाई ते चाती साच करले तुम बिक्री ना पारले आमी बिक्री कर देबू बोललाई।
The villagers benefited from the provision of solar powered lights by Agragamee in the villages.
अग्रगामी थबरू आमको सब सुविधा जोगाई दि जाइए सुविधा यहाँ है पर सार आम करेन्ट बिजुली घड़घड़ी जहाँ हम असुविधा हम करेन्ट पलाऊँगी आम यही सोलार लाइट रे आम गाँ वाला साई दांडे बसुँच आउ पिला टोकी पाठ साठ पढ़ाई सुविधा होती।
Similarly, by providing solar lamps to the students were able to study when electricity was not available.
Agragamee solar light जाइए करेन्ट नथिले solar light द्वारा हम पढ़ी पर।
Agragamee started an effort to bring change in the education sector. Initiatives were taken to enable the small children to study through smart classes. By providing computers to schools, students can take advantage of this.
हम स्कूल रे स्मार्ट रूम करिचंते हम कंप्यूटर द्वारा बहुत किछि सिखि पारु मैम नथिले भी हम निजे काढी कि सिखि पारिबो।
आगरु आम पिलाମାନଙ୍କୁ पाठ पढ़ाउतलु केवल बही किंबा टीएलएम किंबा स्थिर वस्तु माध्यम रे पाठ पढ़ाउतलु किंतु ए स्मार्ट क्लास हेबा द्वारा ए एलईडी टीवी माध्यम रे सीधा सळको वीडियो द्वारा देखि पारछु। आ तापर द्वितीय कथा हला हमर ए कंप्यूटर शिक्षा कंप्यूटर पिला माने केबे आगरु व्यवहार भी कर नथिले किंतु वर्तमान क्षेत्र चित्रांकन करि पारछन्दी किछि टाइप करि पारछन्दी।
Arrow water machines have been provided to provide pure drinking water to the students. Similarly, by providing smokeless stoves to the schools, the students were saved from the smoke and the midday meal could be prepared with less fuel.
ଏବେ ଆମେ ଯେଉଁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଏସ୍ପେକ୍ଟରେ କାମ କରୁଛୁ ଆମର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଉଦ୍ଦେଶ୍ୟ ହେଉଛି ଯେ ପରିବାରର ଇନକମ୍ ବଢ଼ାଇବା ମାଇଗ୍ରେସନଟାକୁ ରୋକିବା ଆମେ ୟୁଥ୍ ମହିଳା ଚାଷୀମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ କାମ କରୁଛୁ କ୍ରପ୍ ଡାଇଭର୍ସିଫିକେସନକୁ ଫୋକସ୍ କରୁଛୁ
In fact, the Parivartan project of Agragamee has brought about many changes in this area. Along with increasing agricultural production, the environment is also being protected. The Parivartan project, led by Agragamee, marks a year of improvement, achieving many achievements. The possibility of many more achievements in this project in the next 4 years cannot be ruled out.